word of mouth, Instagram. We do a lot of, I donate to a lot of the, like a lot of the private schools and a lot of the charities and benefits, and we get clients that way. And then through my own personal networks, referrals from clients who refer their friends. So it's a really good, at this point, it's a good combination of internet search, Instagram, word of mouth, and then these different sort of, direct to organizations and schools that, I market to. Yeah. And then I love partnering with realtors and with interior designers and, thinking of the people that are also working with people that need to downsize and declutter for whatever reason. I've been doing a lot of projects with interior designers who need the house cleared out before they can even begin and they can even get a sense. And then we have this unpacking service where once the house is all set up and designed, then I come in with my team and we unpack and organize and get the house set up in just a few days. And that's become a very popular service, the sort of moving management services, the unpacking.
Yeah, we because of Goldman Sachs, I created a downsize concierge service. So it involves that, like the first step before even thinking if you're going to sell your house or not, we come in like with a questionnaire of what they're looking for. And the first step is definitely having someone to help them. Either they do it, but if they think they're overwhelmed, then we bring someone like you. That's definitely the first step before even thinking, because maybe they meet with you and they see and say, no, I don't want to move. I have too many things that I don't want to get rid of, so I'm staying. So it's definitely a very good synergy, a very good complemented, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and also it's like you need to focus on selling the house and finding buyers and finding sellers and matching people at that level. You don't have the time because it's hours. It's hours, it's days, especially if you're cleaning out an entire house, a 3,000 square foot house that somebody's been living in for 40 years. 40 years of accumulation, it's a lot. It's every drawer, it's every nook and cranny, it's under every bed. And it's stuff that people have forgotten that they own because they're so used to just having it, they've completely overlooked it. And it does take time, and it does take we're very sensitive to people's needs and to the fact that this is their stuff and that is their history. And we don't push, we don't judge, we're not rushing people. We're there. I have 4 organizers on my team, and one of the biggest commonalities with all of us is that we all like helping people. And so it's very sort of calm, getting them very comfortable with the process, not pushing people out of their comfort zone, but really also getting it done so that someone like you can come in and say, okay, now the house is ready to be sold. I think it can go for this, and start setting the pricing and all of that. But it is so much time, and we have the expertise and we have the patience, and we can be delicate or pushy, whatever the person sort of needs. And then hand it over to you so that you can do your job to reach the client's other goals.
Absolutely. I mean, your job is not something that everybody can do. Believe me, I like having one person in charge of each thing, because you're expert on something that I'm not. In the same with staging. You say you work with stagers and designers. I don't do that part. Like right now, we're getting a house stage, and like you do it, because I don't know. Right. It's not what I do. Yeah. And organizing even less. So I love it. I love it to have one person and they feel taken care of. Like if you offer them, each person, the moving, the contractors, everyone, they have someone that is referring them, so they feel like, they can trust them. So I like that.
Well, and it's sort of like when you go in and you say, okay, you need to have the walls repainted and the carpet redone and all of these very simple things just to refresh the house, to make it look its best. That's the same thing. We're one of those vendors who can come in and make the house look great. But also, especially when we work within the decluttering before the sale, we can also work with a client to envision what their life is going to be like in the next place that they're going to live in, and how is it going to be used, and realistically, is it going to fit? We have done a handful of projects in the last year of people who have moved from the bigger to the smaller, and they haven't downsized enough, and they get to the new house and there's no space. And so then we're helping them on the other end. So it's a lot of, it's not just our work with people before they move isn't just about the old house, but it's about the new house and the new lifestyle and what's going to happen there. And so it becomes, and that's definitely not something that, a real estate professional is focused on. Like if this is more, okay, where are you going to put your dresses? How are you going to showcase your beautiful shoe collection or the items that you collected on your favorite trip? Next, what's the next step, which I think is really overwhelming for people. But again, if we're able to break it down and make it simple and hold their hand and be a cheerleader and be really encouraging, then that next stage becomes more exciting for them and easier to sort of wrap their heads around.
I love it. You know what? That's a step that I'm going to put in my service. I did not have that. Doing the same service, but on the other house. So they can they can see where everything goes again neatly and doesn't go, after decluttering this house, then they go to the next one and it's a mess again. I love it.
Because also, you have to remember that the stuff is there to serve us and to jog our memories. And so it's okay, you're going to be in this new space, but then what are you going to surround yourself with? How are you going to make this a home? And that I think that that's something that, people are thinking of. They're excited to move into a new space and to start a different journey, a different phase of their lives. But the stuff can really easily weigh you down. And so we're there, at both ends to sort of help you through. And then also with the unpacking service, which I think for a long time I didn't offer it because unpacking and moving is so stressful. And I just couldn't imagine, why would I want to spend my day doing something that's so stressful? But a cousin of mine called me. She lives in LA, and she called and is just like, we just moved. This is the last day the organizer is here. I love her more than my husband. You need to do this. This is the best service. It's so wonderful after all the stress of finding a new home, selling, buying, etc., to then be in the house and be able to make breakfast on the second day and to not be surrounded by boxes and all of that. Something that would normally take me weeks, months, just takes 3 days and I don't have to do anything. She's like, it was the greatest. And so after that, we started doing it because it seemed so helpful for people. Yes. And I have to tell you, it really is amazing. I go in with my team of organizers, we unpack, usually we start with the priority areas, the kitchen and the bedrooms and the bathrooms. And then, the playroom, the home office, whatever anybody needs. And we take stuff out of the boxes. We find better homes for things. We set up systems. We buy organizing supplies. We'll break down the boxes, haul them away, all the packing material. It's all cleared out. And then put labels on things and they're there. Like I said, you can have breakfast in your brand new house the day after you move in. With a service like ours. So it's very satisfying for everyone.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I want to go back for 1 second when we were talking about the advertising. I know you said that you do a lot of SEO, like you do organic. We have been trying to do that. I know maybe in our market it's more cluttered, so it just has a lot more people. But like, what do you do to make your hyperlocal to show up in your hyperlocal area?
Yeah. So I think that, and I should say too, like I definitely have many, I've been doing this for a while, like really focusing on SEO for a while. And up until recently did not have the competition that is in the real estate industry, which this is something that I'm getting used to. Because again, when I first started, there weren't that many organizers. So it was pretty easy to get to the top of the searches.